So this is one of my favourite quotes. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I can't emphasise how important this aspect is. This both gives you the tools of awareness of this, but also the tools of how to begin to start thinking about how you improve that to be able to improve the networking connections that you have, which ultimately improves yourself. You've heard me say this a million times, and this is a really, really important aspect for any person, anywhere, no matter what job you're in, no matter what you do, no matter how you operate. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you look at the aspects of your life, if you surround yourself with lazy people, you will be the average laziest person within that group. If you surround yourself with people that earn very little money, you'll be the average, right? There's reasons why, we spoke with the recession video went out, and all of these people are using the same language because they all talk to each other, because they're on the same network. Because why would somebody who's worth 100 billion hang around with somebody that's worth £5? What on earth do you talk about? I'll tell you what, we had to get a McDonald's meal deal, a bloody Tesco meal deal today. Oh great, where did you eat? Oh, I ate at the Ritz. I get a 5-star gourmet meal delivered to my office every day. There's no comparison. So if you think about your network, if you think about the people you hang around with most, the people who you are closest with, those people make up the average of you. So this is something I've had to work on to increase my network. It's a reason that we're part of the TRN, which obviously you guys all use the training on. But that network is incredibly important, because if you're only talking with people, like let's imagine, we've all probably heard of the saying, never be the smartest person in the room. If within your network, you're the biggest earner in your group, they'll be holding you back. Because when you start talking to somebody, and there's a great interview with the Grant Cardone, doesn't show a lot of humility, but he did particularly here. Grant Cardone earned his first million. And he was in this meeting, and he was talking to these guys, and he was showing off to this guy. And he's like, I earn $1 million a year, and blah, 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 and all this whole shit. And the guy just turned to him and went, how do you live off only $1 million a year? He went, what do you mean? He said, I spend more than that in a month. Right? What that brought for Grant Cardone was a raise of his game. Now, bit of a dick comment, but if the guy's being an absolute arrogant prick about being X, Y, Z, and then you shoot him down, then fair enough, right? I've had scenarios where I've met people on various situations. They might even watch these videos, so I won't say who it is, but showing off to me on average fees. My average fee is 15k. We're going on and on and on. And bear in mind, my friends know what our average, well, they probably don't know the average fees, but they know the big deals and the units we get on. This guy's going on and on and on. And then he was like, he spoke for ages, and then he goes, so what do you do? And I was like, I place C-suite executive, place private equity professionals, and he goes, what's your average fee? And I was like, yes, 64,000. And he just went, well, I feel like a twat. Right? But it raised his game. And the next comment was, I didn't even believe people could do stuff that big. What are you doing? And then ask me the question. So it raises the profile. So the people, I don't know how wrong about that, but the people that are in that network and your average keep you that average. Right? So if your best friend's the laziest person ever and doesn't do anything, might be worth distance yourself. And I'm not saying you cut them out, I'm not saying, your friends, family, whatever else, but you've got to think about where you spend your time and who drives it. If every time you go home, the person that you spend the most time with at home says you work too hard, you don't do it, you do actually do why, you'll start to cut your working back, right? We've all seen scenarios, and we can all think of people in our past that have turned into the toxic world. If you are the purest individual that doesn't do anything wrong, and you end up in a gang, you'll end up doing shit wrong. You've got in the wrong crowd, you've got in the wrong thing. So there's a lot of negative connotation there. So let me put this into a positive. When you are surrounded by people that are doing things that you're trying to do, that are achieving more than you're trying to achieve, and that's the difficulty, because they're trying to work with people that are achieving more than them. So this is why you've got to have the average of the group. So you have people that are doing a little bit worse than you and a little bit better than you, and therefore you're all on that same journey and thinking about where you surround yourself in. Right? And you use this environment as a difference. There's people in here where this is their first proper job, and there's people in here which have had multiple proper jobs. When you come into this environment, you learn more because you're in an environment that, and both enforces learning, but you're surrounded by people who learn themselves. So you're already increasing your self-development when you join an environment like this because you're doing training every single day, because you're surrounded by people that read, because you're surrounded by people that share ideas, because you're surrounded by people that share a podcast that, you're already spending more time with them, maybe a Grant Cardone, maybe a Jordan Belfort, maybe an Alex Rawlings, maybe a Tony Robbins, right? And therefore your knowledge increases, okay? But it's about that outside factor as well, because you'll compete with those outside of here, and you'll be, who earns more, who earns less, who earns this, who earns that. And if you get to the top of that roster, you're in a bad place because everyone else is telling you how great you are. And then you're going into a meeting and showing off how good of a bill you are and how great you are. And then the other three people in that meeting fortuitously, or unfortunately for you, are all 1.5, 2 million, 3 million pound billers, and they go, how do you survive off billing 500k? How do you survive off doing X, Y, Z? Right, and this is unfortunately a bit of the lead scene in recruitment. You get to 200k in leads and everyone thinks you're a hero. You go down to London, you sit at Hardwick and Struggles, and one of the partners goes, yeah, I do 8 million a year. And you're like, oh, right, well, okay, so that'll take me a long time to get there. I'm 200k. So it's the difference of where you sit and where your levels are. So what I want you to reflect on that is, how do you improve the network that you have and how do you get somewhere? And this isn't easy because the people that you're wanting to speak to are time poor, the people you're wanting to build a network with are probably busy themselves. It doesn't have to be just in recruitment, it could be, it could be in sales, it could be in something else, but your network is your net worth. And those people will drive you and improve you and take you onto a different level. And it's about having different people in your network that are good at different things. And I have people like that in my network where I can ring them and have a conversation with them and say, I need help with this, I need help with that, I need a bit of support here, what's this, I don't understand what I'm doing here. If I have tech issues, if I have Excel spreadsheet issues, I know exactly what I need to ring, I need something to fix. Right? I know if I've got finance issues, I'm surprised it's all ring there, but obviously I've got a certain person I can ring and have a conversation with. If I have branding, marketing challenges, I've got a guy that I know I can ring and have a conversation and run it past him. So it's about building those connections and contacts. You don't have to be in contact with them every day, but it's an important element of how do you improve yourselves through the people around you, because they'll raise your game. I don't want you to imagine you're in a conversation, you're in a meeting and all of your friends, and you're at the bottom, and you're like, if you earn the least, if all of your friends, you went to the pub and you all shared how much you earn and you earn the least, you're going to be the most embarrassed. And my God, will that inspire you? You're going to do one of two things. You're either going to not be in that group anymore, and you're going to find a group where you're the best at, or you're going to go hellfire. John, Jane at the top, I am well interested in what she's doing. How are you getting to where you're getting? How are you earning that amount of money? Well, I've done this, and this, I'm doing this, how we can learn, and then you can then get started at the top. But if you ask your group of friends, and the question is, who earns the most money? And the answer is, it's you. Then all your friends will learn from you, you'll learn from them. You can learn things from everyone. I don't want to sound like a dick, and I learn things from all sorts of different people, all sorts of different walks of life, but you're going to learn certainly more from those that have achieved success and patting you on the back, right? And what you'll find is, with your friends, even with your family, they'll be like, you work too hard, you do too much of this, you do too much of that, you need to take a break, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because nobody who's doing better than you will ever tell you that you need to slow down, that you need to do less, that you need to take a break. Because if they're doing better than you, you'll go, it's damn hard. This is damn difficult. You need to work hard, you need to apply yourself, you need to do X, Y, and Z. They're not going to tell you to take a break. Yeah, do you know what? You need to go away for 2 weeks. You need to do this. You need to relax. You need to finish working. That ain't coming from anyone who's more successful.